Hi, I'm Eileen Roche, founder of Designs and Machine Embroidery, and thank you for joining me today. It's a super exciting day here at Dime. We are going to introduce a new product, and we're always pumped up about new products, right? So if you're joining, tell me where you're watching from. Alicia Gentry, you're in chilly in Northwest Arkansas. It's a little chilly here in Dallas too, and gray. We don't really have rain yet, but it's gray. Hi, Judy Warren, aloha. Lovely to have you here. Yesterday, I had the privilege of being on over with the Wolf Pack on Angela Wolf's Facebook Live. I don't know if any of you caught us there. We had a lot of fun. We spent about a half hour talking about her beautiful lace couture collection, and she has a really fun social hop going on where people, all of you, we hope that you stop by each other's sites and blogs and so forth and visit and see what's happening. And on December 18th, she has a big giveaway. So that's super fun. And Dime has donated a jewelry collection and hardware. So if that's been on your wish list and you haven't purchased it yet, maybe you have a chance to win it there. So check out Angela Wolf's Facebook Live. So thanks to everybody for joining. And Liz Campbell, you're in Texas. Kathy Winks in Everett, Washington. I love the state of Washington. So beautiful up there. And our friends from France. So very great to have all of them join us. So we're going to be talking about how to hoop blanks because, it's the holiday season. And if you're like me, you're looking for last minute ideas, and blanks are pretty high on the house. And Linda Jean, New Jersey in the house. Yeah, I love that. Thanks for coming in from Jersey, all us Jersey girls, right? So we're gonna hoop onesies, tote bags, left chest handbags, all kinds of stuff. We're gonna have a lot of fun. But before we do that, let's just visit the doors because this is the last month for the doors. And so remember, if you haven't downloaded them, this is the time. We're going to pull them down on New Year's Eve. So here's January through April, May through July and August, and then December, September, October, November, and December. I revealed the December door on Monday, this past Monday. So if you missed it, it's already up on the website, so you can go grab it. And our friends over at OML Embroidery are doing a sew along on this Saturday. So if you want to jump in, just jump over there. And thank you, Sharon, for the kind words about the doors. They've been a lot of fun, haven't they? And, many of you have been following along and making your own versions of the doors. And I thought I would share one that I found very recently. So here on the far left is the November door, my door. That's the one that I released. And then Robin Madston Rhodes, she made her own version. I love how she's got a pig flying in the sky. That's super fun. But look what happens to her barn doors. They open up to reveal an animal inside. Isn't that awesome? I just was so impressed when I saw that on the web. I had to pull it in, even though it's, it's not the December door, but hey, we just released the December door. And I know the OML gang probably hasn't made theirs yet because they'll do that starting this Saturday. So that's awesome. Well, I promised that we would introduce a new product and we would talk all about hooping blanks because it is probably the number one thing many of us are doing for the rest of the month, right? So let's take a look. This is our new product. It is called the Totally Tubular Hooping Station. And it's a hooping station that's really very simple. It's not super sophisticated, but it's going to address the problem that we all have, which is the hoop sliding around and how to get a hoop on a tubular item such as a t-shirt, a tote bag, a onesie, something like that, where it's almost impossible to hoop. So if you'll come over here to the overhead cam, I'll show you, I'll give you a look at it. It's going to come with one post, just like our pressing station did, and plates, 2 plates, one for each board. And there are 2 boards. There's a 8x13 and a 13x13. You're going to notice there's 2 sets of holes on each board. This set is located about 1.5 inches away from the edge. And this set where I have my plate applied is, very close to the edge. This set is used if you are going to use the totally tubular hooping station with perfect alignment laser. So in the instructions, we'll tell you, if you have the laser and attach your plate here, you'll have room for your laser, and you'll see that in a little bit. So I thought I would just share it with you so you know what's in the box. And of course, it's going to come with 2 new hooping mats. It's that non-slip, that grippy surface that we just love. It has a grid on it. You'll notice there are no numbers and no center line. And that's because depending on what hoop you're using, you may not be in the center of the board. And it doesn't matter. All that matters is that it's a tubular item that can easily slide over this long pedestal, and that it stays in place with those mats. So you will always have one mat underneath the board that's on the bottom, and then the other mat on top for the one that you're going to hoop on. So we're going to go ahead and start with a 4x4. And I'm going to use a monster hoop, although you can use any size, any kind of hoop you want. You could use a standard hoop if you'd like. And I already have my t-shirt that is marked with a target sticker, and it has stabilizer on the inside. So I'm just going to dress the board. And I will do that. I'm going to flip this around so that the attachment is going to be on the same side as the, well, you'll see in a minute. So now I need my top frame, and I'm just going to attach that in place. And now when I want to nest my shirt, I just pull all this, right side out. Wrong side out, actually, nest everything above. And now when I want to go to the machine, all I have to do is put my magnetic shield underneath and transport that to the machine. And once I slide all of this excess fabric underneath the needle, I can open up that design area to access the target sticker and leave the design area open. Beautiful. Now I don't have to wrestle with trying to figure out where the design area is when I'm hooping inside out. But how about a pair of blue jeans where you want to do the pocket? So let's take a look at that. So here we have, I have one pocket that's already embroidered, and I have the other pocket that I'm about to do. So now a tip about embroidering on jeans pockets. You have 2 options here. You can remove the pocket, release all these stitches, but leave the bar tack stitches in place, and then just lift up the pocket, and then you would hoop this separately, like on sticky paper. You would just hoop that pocket flap, basically, at that point. But if these are jeans that you don't use the back pocket, and 99% of women do not use the back pocket of their blue jeans, just fuse that shut. Put a piece of fusible web in there, fuse it shut, and of course you lose the use of the pocket, but so what? You probably don't use it anyway. Okay, so now I'm going to put my attachment like so, and then I'm just going to slide my blue jean right over the frame and put that on top, and there you have it. And that was so easy. Now I would pull this inside out, pull that pant leg inside out, so that when I'm over at the machine, I don't have to worry about the pant leg getting caught underneath, but everything would just be kept out of harm's way, and so easy to stitch. So easy to stitch. All right. Let me see, do you have any questions? Is there a magnetic hoop for the Genomic Memory Craft? We'll address the Genomic Memory Craft. So the Genomic Memory Craft, right? If you look at your machine, your attachment is way behind the machine. If you hold up your 15,000, your Genomic 15,000 standard hoop, you'll notice it's gigantic. It has a lot of plastic all over it, regardless of the sewing field. It's too much weight for a magnetic hoop. It's just not ever going to work on a Genomic 15,000. So our deepest apologies to you 15,000 users. I love Janome machines. In fact, I started embroidering, sewing on a Janome. So I know all about your affinity and brand loyalty to that machine, but that 15,000 it's just too far away. So that's why there's no 15,000. Okay, so let's get rid of these blue jeans. And what should we do next? How about a large tote bag? And we'll use a 5x7 hoop. Now I'm going to flip over my board, go over to the large size, and I'll just take my mat and put that in place, and it just stays right in place. And then I'm going to take my bottom hoop and position it so that the attachment is off the edge. And I think I have my board. Oh, let's see. Let's do it this way. Yeah, I'm going to put the attachment towards you. So here's my pedestal is right there. And now I'm going to take my very filthy tote bag. Well, my apologies for all the dust that's on it. I dropped it in the warehouse right before we came into the room, and I didn't have time to clean it off. So now I just drop that in place. Of course, I would have probably a Target sticker, or a template taped on here, or my print and stick Target template papers. And then I just turn this inside out and nest this, and then I can stitch my design. Now, when I hooped it this way, I have the bulk of the tote bag will be underneath the hood of the machine, the head of the machine, right? So I most certainly could have done this the opposite way, where the attachment is this way. And then when I get myself confused, right, left, up, down, right? And then when I hoop this tote bag and then flip it, I'll show you when I turn it inside out. So here's my attachment right here. And then when I nest this inside out, this tote bag is so large that I can actually put this over the hood of the machine. So I would lift it right up over my machine, and then the needle would be under here and would be able to stitch. So that's one way. Two ways to hoop a tote bag if it's large opening on a single needle machine. Now, what about a multi-needle machine? So let's go ahead and put that same tote bag back into play. I'm going to turn it right side out because a multi-needle machine has, the tubular ability. So I just take my standard hoop, and I'll make sure that the screw is over here so I can access it if I need it. And then I'll just slip that tote bag right over that board. And you're probably wondering, well, how did I come up with this? Well, I'll tell you, Nancy Zeman and I, when Nancy and I did all those necklines, I taught Nancy that I used the ironing board to hoop a t-shirt on my ironing board. And it worked well, but it doesn't work that great all the time. So, t-shirts really aren't that big. So there you go. You just put that inside and you have your multi-needle. Now I also have a multi-needle monster hoop that would work just fine. But those multi-needle machines, they have the tubular ability to stitch that way. Okay, I want to see what other questions they are before there's, okay. Yeah, Chris Yost, you need one. How do you do the vinyl tote bags like from Walmart? Well, Judy, I have a vinyl tote bag from Target. Does that count? So let me flip that over. And I'll show you two ways to do that. I have one this is a really pretty bag that I got at Target. This kind of khaki color. Love that color. So let's see. So on a multi-needle machine, like a multi-needle monster machine, I would go ahead and probably flip that over and use the bigger board. And see how easy it is to just flip them? You just literally flip them. And of course, if you're not embroidering for a while, then you most certainly can use, you can separate them with the, just remove that post and then they store flat. So here we have our tote bag, goes right over it. I can feel my frame underneath. And then I'll just snap my, where is my frame? Actually can't really feel my frame. Oh, you know what? There's a laptop pillow in here. Not pillow, but divider, So there we go. That's why I couldn't feel it. And I'll just zip that closed. Now that's a little bit better. And there we have it. So easy. So this would be on a multi-needle machine. Now, I really don't think I could stitch this on a single needle machine. It would be a little tricky because inside this bag is what I just told you about. There is a, here, let's open it up so you can see. First off, I would lose the use of a pocket, but there's also this extra pocket where your laptop goes inside. So that I wouldn't be able to get enough coverage, enough open area to do this inside out on a single needle machine. And there's a zipper pocket on this side. So that eliminates this side. So not every bag can you do on a single needle machine, but on the multi-needles, oh, for sure. You have so many options. So that's super easy. So let's take a look at a left. Oh, I have this really nice seersucker. Look how pretty this is. This is a 4x4 design. It's going to fit in here pretty tight, this really nice seersucker bag. And actually, I bought this over at All About Blanks. Our friends over there, Suzanne Mars. I hope you're aware of her site. She has the most beautiful blanks, and they're always so trendy and seasonal. And then my top is right here. And I just slip that into place. Align it with the bottom. And then I know when I go over to that machine, I'm going to be able to stitch that on my multi-needle because that tubular ability, that's right where the throat is going to go. The machine throat will go right in that opening. So it's going to stitch beautifully. Isn't that awesome? Let's see. And Kristen Swanson said, Watson, I know a lady, Kristen Swanson, so that's why I'm asking her. She said, do you recommend using a hoop mat under the hooping station? Well, the hooping station comes with 2 hoop mats. So it has one for the big board and one for the small board. So whatever board you're not working on will be on the bottom. So put that mat on your work surface and then put your board on top of that. So that should answer that. Let's see. Okay. All right. Let's go back to work. We got lots to do. Okay. I'm trying to keep my mess over here kind of cleaned up, right? So how about if we take a look at a larger hoop, like doing a t-shirt on a, excuse me, center chest. You've seen this before. I wore it, and it's the same template, the shine on. So here, I have my shirt right side out, right? I have my template in place. I have stabilizer fused to the inside, and I'm focusing on the crosshair. And then I just place my frame on top. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love that. No fussing, no mess. Now I'm going to turn my sleeves inside out, just like that. Nest above, and off to the machine I go. And make sure as I slide it onto the machine, all this is flat. This is where the needle is going to travel over to access the hoop. And then once engaged, I can then just keep this all out of harm's way and stitch my design. You just love it. I just love that. Okay, I have another good garment to show you for the back of a sweatshirt. So we'll get rid of this. And this is a sweatshirt that's just very plain in the front, right? It's just super plain in the front. But on the back, it has this kind of top stitch area. And I thought, wow, that's perfect for embroidery. So I thought, let's stitch by for now on there. But this is the kind of garment you're going to see, you know, in tourist shops, right? It might say Florida, it might say Cali, some kind of beach thing, or, you know, Steamboat Springs, who knows, right? In a ski resort. So, you know, when you are planning embroidery, always use a design element of the garment as an accent for your embroidery. And why not use that edge to sit your lettering on perfectly? So I always use for templates my print and stick Target template paper. And when I fussy cut them, and I don't always fussy cut around every single word, but on lettering, I trim exactly at the very bottom of those letters. And then that way, when it's time to actually stitch, you know, I know that that's going to be perfectly aligned with that seam. Now, for those of you who are seamstresses and, you know, maybe you are matching your shoulders and finding the center, which you should find the vertical center of the shirt. But, you know, if this seam is not perfectly the same on each sleeve, like this could be 3 3/4 inches down, this could be 4 inches down. So don't go by your measurements. Go by the horizontal line that's in the garment, because when the garment is worn, that will be the reference line that people, you know, their eye will be drawn to determine if this lettering is straight on the garment. So use it. Don't use your measurements. Okay, so let's go ahead and dress the board. So we just open up that waist area, right? And then we will center our template right over the frame design area, and then we just drop that in place and boom, ready to stitch. Isn't that great? Oh, I love it. It's just so fun. Yeah. Linda Walls, you say you need that. Yep, I need this. I know. I don't know what I did without it. And Kirsten Swanson, yeah, ironing boards can't take a lot of pressure. And, you know, this is solid wood, top and bottom. The plastic post is very sturdy. And, you know, this is not for commercial production, I don't think, but in our homes, and those of you who have businesses at home, it's a great, affordable hooping station, because many hooping stations that are out there, there's only a couple that are out there. They're very highly engineered, and they're super expensive. And unless you're doing garments blanks all day long, it may not be, you know, in your best interest to purchase, you know, something like that. Okay, so now I've made my big mess over here. Someday I'm going to bring you in and let you see. I'm going to turn the cameras so you can see what's going on. Well, I know everybody wants to see how you do a onesie. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to flip the board, and I'm going to put a 4x4 on, because what else would you do with a onesie, right? Oh, now you can see what a mess it really is, right? Because now I'm starting to have my mess in the screen, not just to the side. So I'll get my onesie, which is already marked with a Target sticker, right? And I'm going to place the neckline at the bottom of the hoop, and I'm going to move this over. So this is why there's no lines, no centering line on the grid, because depending on what hoop you're using, you know, the center of this hoop is not the center of the board. I'm trying to get this attachment and the width of the frame centered on the hoop. So, okay, I'm going to dress this board, and I have to move this over a little bit, because remember, I'm not in the center of the actual board. I'm going to be in the center of the hoop. I'll just smooth this down a little bit, and I can feel my frame, which is just what I want. And then I take my top frame, get my silly fingers out of the way, and then there we have it, nice and smooth and taut in there. And of course, I would use a hoop guard, which I got out solely for this very reason. Oh my goodness, you are kidding. No, here it is. Thank goodness. Okay. And then I would put my hoop guard up here at the neck. And really, I should have done that before I put the top on, but you'll forgive me. So well, let's just do that the right way, right? let's get that all situated and centered, and then put this in place. And now that's much better. So now when I take this off the board, I just carefully lift it off the board, slide it off, and then I'm going to turn that garment inside out, and that hoop guard is going to keep all of that bulk up at the opening of the neck, and also that back side of the snap suit out of harm's way, and I'll be able to stitch that design with no problem. Isn't that awesome? That's the easiest way to hoop a onesie I've ever seen. Okay, but what if you have PAL? Well, let's take a look at a board that has PAL attached to it. Now, of course, PAL is sold separately because, you know, many of you already bought PAL, so we didn't want to include it. You would not have liked that. So let me bring it in with PAL attached so you can get a good look at how that will work. So it is, you know, it clips on to the board. Let me see, I'll turn that around so you can get a good look. It's going to clip onto the board right here. And notice that there's room between the post, the plate, and the edge of the board. So that's why that second set of holes for the screws are located away from the edge. Of course, but you have both options. So if you don't have PAL, you can use the other screws. No big deal. So once you attach it, it's in place. And you can't get hung up about aligning the laser with the mat. I mean, you can a little bit. What you want to do is be square to the mat. That's what's important. So I've moved this around quite a bit. But you do want to be square to the mat. You don't really have to land it on a line. You just want to be square. And then when you're hooping a onesie, like in a multi-needle, I then align the laser points with the 0 on my bottom hoop. And then I would take that onesie that I've already hooped in the other frame. Let's see. Of course, I have that all backwards. I have that all backwards. So bear with me while I find my other frame, because I put the rulers on it. Here we go. Okay, so now on a multi-needle hoop, monster hoop, you can put rulers on the bottom. This is the magnetic side of the magnet, and the magnet on a multi-needle machine actually goes underneath the metal frame, different than our standard hoops. So don't fret about that. And then we will just dress this board, and same thing. Now I'm going to align that target sticker with that beam. And then when I place my metal frame on top, perfect. It's perfectly aligned. I go to the machine and I stitch that design. Now, I will tell you a tip when you are hooping when you are actually attaching a small item like this to the machine, always put the pant opening, the leg opening, the biggest opening over the throat of the plate, not the skinny opening. It just gives you kind of more leverage, and you know it's easier to work with. So is that ideal? I love that thing, I'm telling you. But so what if you want to press? Well, our wool mats that are made for out the clamp of Perfect Alignment laser. So you don't even have to switch boards. You don't have to remove the silicone, non-slip hooping mat underneath. You can just add this mat and then add your, then press whatever you want to press. Doesn't matter. You can press, imagine pressing a tote bag like this seersucker. That's one thing that you could definitely always benefit from pressing, right? You most certainly could very easily press this before, or after you embroidery. And, it's just so easy to do that. And of course, finishing t-shirts is a great way to also use the press board. And if you're doing children's t-shirts, you want to add the trico knit interfacing underneath. It would be very easy. Okay, so one other thing I wanted to show you. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you a big board. I want to show you a big board. So I'm going to move this out of the way. And so here's the big board again, right? Instead of flipping it over. And now I have my mat attached, my wool mat, and I'm going to do some vinyl work. So here's a Cricut press that now you can slide your t-shirt right over this tubular hooping station and use your Cricut square presses, the small presses, regular irons, mini irons, whatever. I love it. It's so versatile. So versatile. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Brenda Campbell would love a bundle for the PAL and the hooping board. Good idea. Okay. And Mikey, you want to know, can we buy the rulers separately? Yes, you can buy them separately. Yep. I think you have to call the office, though. I don't think it's a part on the website. I don't think it's a part. So let's see. So Brenda was looking for a bundle. So the special that we have is just the introductory price of the totally tubular hooping station, but that is a great idea to bundle it with the PAL. So if you wait a little while in tomorrow's blast, we will, maybe we can add a special when you go to checkout that you could also add the PAL for a special price, but we don't often really have them on sale. You know, they're kind of hard to keep in stock. So, and Picola Chase, you wanted to know, how long did it take you to think of the design of tubular for actual production? Wow. Everything always takes way longer than I think it should take. Always, 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 always. You know, you get an idea and I bring in some kind of prototype or sketch or drawing or something. And then, you know, my business partner, Gary Gardner, is always on board. He loves new ideas. And we have a contract engineer and we work together in what, you know, I think should happen like in a week. And then, I'm kidding, but it takes at least 6 months, normally a year. It takes a really long time to get a new product to market. And that's because it has to be, well, you know, you have to figure it all out. How is it going to be manufactured? What kind of plastic is going to be used for the mold? What is the size of the screws? How big should those holes be? How deep should those holes be? What is the cutout for the PAL? Will their wool mats work? And, oh, let's order the mats. Oh, but we didn't do the cutout. So now we need to do wool mats with the cutout. And there should be marketing and there should be photography. And sometimes the prototypes that we work with are really ugly and you can't use them for photography. So now we're waiting. I'm tapping my toes, waiting for the good product to arrive so we can do packaging and marketing and so forth. And then it's in your hands. But it takes a really long time. It's, you know, if you're a mom, you know what that's like, right? It's like giving birth. Yep, 9 months takes a long time. Yeah. Okay. So what other questions do we have? Isn't it fun? Don't you just love it? So give me a thumbs up or, you know, hearts, emojis. Let me know if you really like it. I mean, I am so excited about this product. I don't know how I've been embroidering so long without it. And, you know, I've had my eye on some of the, you know, really high-tech hooping stations. But, you know, frankly, you know, it's just embroidery, gang, right? It's just embroidery. So let's see. Oh, could we post a link for the December door? Yeah, Mikey, we sure can do that. Just give us a second. We'll get it up on the ticker. And oh, there he is. My good guy Sam. He's my backup. He's got it already up there. I hope you go get the December door. Isn't it fun? And oh, you know, I should show you what I added to mine. I added some baker's twine that I couched over to outline the roof and also the door. So that's not part of the design. So when you download the design, I don't want you to think, I didn't get the red and white stripes. The red and white stripes is actually baker's twine. And here you can see on the back, see the little twine? Because I just cheated and put it around the back. And surely there was some other wonderful way to do it, but I didn't feel like figuring it out. And my door was done. It's something I added afterwards. So, you know, but I love that baker's twine, right? Everybody enjoys that, I think. Well, that was super fun. Oh, Judy Warren and the mats. The mats, the wool mats are in-house. There is a special price on that. most certainly, but the hoop mats, the white hoop mats that come with the totally tubular pressing station are only available with the totally tubular pressing station. And folks, let's not forget, these wool mats are not to be used with a rotary cutter. If you cut it, you will have two mats. Two mats. Neither one will be as big as it started. So don't do that. I mean, we have them here, and then I find new uses for these little mats. I've used them for all kinds of things. Oh, Barbara George, you're waiting to see what's next. Well, it's exciting. I will tell you, I'm excited about what we're going to do in 2021. It's along the lines of the door. It will be a monthly free program. It will have some sort of a hanger. It's not going to have the same hanger, but it's going to kind of stretch your wings a little bit. It will still be in a 6x10 hoop, and so will the frame itself. So that's kind of the size that we're sticking with. And I know many of you have 5x7 hoops, so you'll be able to resize this 6x10 design to fit in your 5x7. Don't forget, we always have that free software that's available on our website, dzgns.com. You can go just download the embroidery tool shed for free, and you can print templates, resize embroidery, and it's just a very helpful, useful program if you don't already own software. And you should have software. I live in it all day long. Okay, well, thank you all for joining me. We're so excited. I hope that you put one in your basket. I hope that you put it on your Christmas list, and I think you'll be really pleased. It's so versatile, and it doubles now as a pressing station. You can use it with PAL. You can break it down and store it flat. It's really handy. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.